And Owen, just as a shout out for you, there was an anonymous attendee that said the app looks very slick. So well done on the dashboard creation.
Yeah, I've got a big thing on making things visually engaging. I mean, people are going to use things that look really good, and then it's just a matter of making the numbers and everything around it correct as well. Yeah, so there was a bit of reverse engineering going on from the Excel spreadsheet, but it was really easy to do that in the Smarter-based system with all the data flowing through from training peaks and capturing that for each athlete. But it's, I think, as I was saying before, making this, visually engaging in terms of the colors and the way it's laid out, but then being able to interact with it as well. So I think you might have been seeing when I was clicking around as Jeff was talking, just to be able to click on this bike session and see exactly what it was and the loads and times, associated with that session, or this strength one here where they completed it in their home gym, obviously with COVID and all that going on. And these donuts are also interactive, where you can click on the bike and it shows all the bike sessions that they completed that make up that 63% that's written there. And these main two tables here are the ones that are really important, I think, where it details what was planned, what was completed, the difference, and then the 12-week average, which is highlighted in the graph below, and then week-to-week difference that Jeff mentioned before. So trying to keep it as simple as possible so that everyone, who's looking at this dashboard can understand it. So it sort of flows down where, what they've completed is week to week for the last 12 weeks here. And then you can see the weekly bars here in the acute, how it's affecting their chronic load. So you can see that this fake athlete has lost a bit of training in the last couple of weeks, so their chronic load's coming down. But yeah, I think, like Jeff said, just the ability to capture what it was that they were doing in Excel and be able to visually represent it here in the dashboard just creates some massive time savings for them.
And just to geek out a little bit on the dashboard creation and dashboard flow, if I can, just for people that are watching that are users of any sort of visualization suite, having a viewpoint, and Owen, please back me up or tell me I'm wrong here. Having a flow from whether it's a day to a week to a month to an extended period of time like 12 weeks is really important, especially for the viewers. And what we're seeing here is exactly that. We've kind of got a daily comment, and then we've got the weekly load, the actual workouts that they did across the week and the percentage breakdowns in those pie charts left and right. And then we flow down to the last 12 weeks. Jeff, you may or not, you'd mentioned before that the train load and how you guys are visualizing that isn't necessarily your 100% area, but is there any reason why it's a 12-week review of training load? Is that anything to do with, is that just a preference, or is it sailing specific? Is there any reason why it's a 12-week review of data there?
No, look, I think it's a nice snapshot to see, what's been happening. We tend to have different, although we struggle to have an off-season or a pre-season, we definitely have different periods within the year, and it does come down to about 4 different periods. So I think it's just nicely aligned, to be honest, with, what our athletes are doing, whether they're in Europe or whether they're back home, and then also what looks great, and then what is actually meaningful, sometimes going back too far. You just start muddying the waters. It's really about what are they doing in the moment and what's been happening lately and what's coming up.